Hello, my name is Scuria-Herman, and today we'll be checking out Big Bang by Aesop Rock. Going back to Aesop Rock.
Well, so we meet again. He said he'd grown spiritually since the last time. Okay, this is the
Before we go anywhere, there's another video with the lyrics on it, so I don't have to go back and forth. And this time it actually has the lyrics in all the parts. So far with this, I really like that beat in the background. Again, every time I listen to an Aesop Rock song, it feels very different from the last one, which I appreciate because it's variation, you know? It's cool stuff going on.
Okay, this is the dawning of the book of bitter aspects. When a jackal sit and watch the pedagogues lash breath. Poison function accompanied by 6 armor-clad black horse and buggy mechanisms tugged a portion of my severed vision.
So, obviously, it's, again, biblical references here. But it's a reinvention of biblical stuff because 6 armor-clad black horse and buggy mechanisms. It's like retro-futurist Christianity. I think I said that before to describe Aesop Rock before, but it's very cool.
Gathering of loose ends in a bucket with a shoestring budget. Every man's got a field to plow. I know that now. But it's like, man, I really can't afford the oxen, fee, fi, etc. I smell the warm blood of the bill collector knocking. I get awkwardly sturdy with a frigid liquid backbone. I get swept in a pressure cooker trying to paddle back home. I get sprung with a vibrant alliance and clean attention by eclipsing doom that attached to basties picking fences. Now I'll attend the wedding of the open sword and festering. And when the groom presents the ring, the bride commenced the blistering. Textbook magnificently crude. Prototype king berserker module inserted vertical thirst. Burst horizontal treasure. Loose cannon span a starboard bow with a clipper ship dipped in truth, famine, pressure. Cabin fever meter pegging ludicrous. Beautiful cartoon trooper swallow brutal futility with a teaspoonful of sugar.
Just since I haven't said anything in a while, I really like it because what he's doing here, he started off very biblical. He's going through sort of fantastical classic tales and reinventing them and sort of like putting this spin on them because, you know, swallow brutal futility with a teaspoonful of sugar. And the whole loose cannon span to start with the clipper ship. All this stuff like this, the wedding imagery, all stuff like that really feeds into this whole thing of reinvention of this sort of classic retelling.
Ludicrous, beautiful cartoon trooper swallow brutal futility with a teaspoonful of sugar. I rock ready, aim fire, while y'all rock ready, fire aim. Then blame the stationary target while the prey escapes the frame. Merit badge, marksman, a poacher, it's all the same. So I lay across the wood, perpendicular to the grain. A big bang, gotta be.
I like how the melody is kind of discordant because his lyrics are punching through, but I feel like the lyric is the instrumental is slightly like off cadence from his speaking, which is interesting because like it gets this weird like sort of all over the place vibe, which I feel like works for this song because of all the like the different like metaphors he's pulling out. I don't know if I should talk about this. I'll cut it out if it's not interesting. But if you're watching this right now, I'm not guaranteeing it's interesting. I wrote this part of this book I'm working on where this guy, he's talking about one of his mentors, essentially, his main mentor. And it's this way to sort of describe him. And this guy gets really in his head about a lot of things. And he has like 3 different things to talk about how thin this guy is. If he wears anything like skin tight, his ribs poke through his shirt. If you've seen like a muscular version of him in like a movie, then that's a lie. Like all these different like metaphors to show the sort of absolute rail thinness of this guy. And the professor in the class said that I should cut that out. I should only have 1 because I keep trying to paint this image and I should only have 1 and then go with it. except I'm basing this off of work from like I forget the last name, Newt Hampson, I think, Hunger guy. I base it off of a lot of stuff like that. These guys, all the authors that I pulled from had very complicated names, and I could barely get through their books. But that was their style, and I'm replicating that style through a lens of specific characterization to this character because he reads those authors. So he is just like getting very in his head and just like going down this line of like, this is happening, this is happening, this is happening, and just like he needs to tear into him because it's just occupying his brain. And I think a similar thing is happening here because we're getting this sort of same metaphor several times over, but it's being hammered in because of the character, the narrator's insistence on it and occupation with it.
Me up in a property, I wanna see you, yes sir, sir. Yes sir. All with its own cross or to the bone. One of the other brothers I was born for a long big bang. Sharper than a big dick, hotter than a tunnel of big dreams. I think big things, I'm a burn with a still a lot of mind and a proud concern to earn thanks.
Big Dig is from How to Be a Carpenter too.
I'ma be a big bang. I wanna be a big bang, gotta be. Never mind me up in a property, I wanna see you, yes sir, sir. Yes sir. All with its own cross or to the bone. One of the other
I think
brothers
this might be the fastest I've ever seen him rap, which is very cool. It brings me back to Open Mike Eagle in the last video.
born for a long big bang. Sharper than a big dick, hotter than a tunnel of big dreams. I think big things, I'm a burn with still a lot of mine and a proc return to earth. Thanks, I'ma be a big bang. Survivor of the woolly mammoth population, bottleneck effect, sort of born deaf, alien, a shallow alchemy. If you gon' metamorph the base metal to precious, might as well steal from the rich, bewitch the peasants. I'm floating this homing pigeon out hell's kitchen window, left an SOS infested bottle nestled in his grip. So with a prayer circle, release party and hardy wild bellow. I observed him fly 10 feet, then drop the bottles to the devils. Fertile circle, turn fertile crescent via bad investment. Despised every second, I guess I learned my lesson. If I made an angel in the snow for every rotting victim, there'd be wings to float this mothership about the goblin system. Sticky panoramic contaminant planet in conjunction with phantom assumption. Gutter bug alumnus candidates. Well, I promise you I'll man the lighthouse just to help guide in your ship. If you promise to help pull this hook out my lip, Godspeed, straight jacketed, ragged approach to circle suns via folklore pollutants derived strictly from a BC.
Folklore pollutants is very apt. I really like that. I feel like that really is like the very emblematic of the entire song. Sort of the whole thing going on with him talking about dreams as well is very interesting because he's putting this realm, he's giving all this like industrial sort of like references, but putting it in a lens of like fantasy and sort of classic literature, which I think is cool. And like right here, you see he's talking about BC generation, but then he's talking about pollution or straitjackets or, you know, anything like here, contaminants, lighthouse, modern things, but then he's putting it in a fantastical lens.
Generation disgust, community movement alluding to a no blood given, no recognition, life matter. I sup all night with a rusty hammer trying to build a fence around these magic beans my dreams have gathered, but that's certain lack.
So again, this is the same thing he's been doing the entire song, but right here we see classic tale, but then he's putting it into like a sort of not necessarily real lens, but an air of reality. So he's like, you know, I gotta protect these magic beans. I'm not just gonna like grow a beanstalk and it'll all be fine and I'll be safe, you know.
Of a veil, I sail a choppy lot with buoyancy like a bucket of rocks. I wanna be a big bang, gotta be. Never bottle me up in a property. I wanna see you, yes sir, sir. Yes sir. All with a tone course or to the bone. One of the other brothers I was born for a long big bang. Sharper than a big dig, hotter than a tunnel of big dreams. I think big things. I'm a burn with the spittle out of mine and a proc concern to earth. Thanks, I'ma be a big bang. I wanna be a big bang, gotta be. Never bottle me up in a property. I wanna see you, yes sir, sir. Yes sir. All with a tone course or to the bone. One of the other brothers I was born for a long big bang. Sharper than a big dig, hotter than a tunnel of big dreams. I think big things. I'm a burn with the spittle out of mine and a proc concern to earth. Thanks, I'ma be a big bang. Bang. Big bang. It's getting bigger by the second. God, I swear to God, I never meant to spill the beans nor tear the pie, but it's like I hike an acre unimpressed and slept on a saber's edge enough times to splice Antichrist's favorite pledge. I wanna know myself. Sort of solo sheep amidst wolves and still my My shepherd can't administer the proper push and pulls. I push the ghouls to man overboard. Pull the bulls onto my sword and buckle down in a corner chair at a round table floor. Got an angel on my left shoulder, a devil on a polar. Got a mug of frigid, got a mug of solar. Slide over the recipes, design and plug the appetite for continuity by stitching togetherness, theme congruent beautifully. I peel back hearts and lights, greet physics in the chambers. Cauterize the wound and heads like gimme, gimme something major. Roadside prophetic ascend well. Enveloped in a mummy ribbon system, blistering in a wishing well. Big bang.
Very cool. And of course, Big Bang is like the first story. So everything is referential to that. So that's how he wraps it up. Very cool. I mean, there's not much I have to say that I haven't said already about this song. Obviously, there's an entire, verse here where he spells out the Christianity part that I was talking about. But let's see what the comments have to say. There you go. That's exactly the line I was talking about. Yeah. All right. Well, they're all talking about his lyricism, but nobody wants to talk about what the lyrics mean. I thought this song was cool. In reference to his other music, I think against like the last song I've listened to from him, How to Be a Carpenter. I don't know where I'd rate it. I haven't really been rating them. There are some that I like above others, like Daylight or Long-Legged Larry. I thought probably my top Aesop Rock songs. I think this would be somewhere up there. I think it's hard to say that there's a bad. I haven't really listened to a bad Aesop Rock song yet, so it's hard to really rate any of them. I don't know why I even brought this up. I just want to have a good closer to the video about Aesop Rock. How about this? What do you think about the song? Everybody in the comments of these videos usually talks about, oh, he's so great, he's such a great artist, but nobody really talks about the song, the meaning of the song that much. And I'm interested in what you have to say about that. Yeah. I'm gonna keep making videos. But for now, that's gonna be all for me. So until next time, adieu.